Hi guys, welcome back. I'm Zen and this is the second part of the video regarding the installation of the pen drive system. So in the first half we looked at downloading it from my Google Drive and extracting it onto a pen drive. We finished by starting it up by pressing the start icon here, and we saw Laragon start and we get an updater shown as well. Now, what we will find in a moment is an error is going to appear on my Apache. There it is, okay? And it's a very common error. And the reason why we get this error is due to the letter assigned to the pen drive, okay? So as we can see on here, it is down as the F drive, and it needs to be the E drive. The reason for this is that, as I said before, there are plenty of applications on the pen drive system, and although about 90% of them are meant to be portable applications, a few of them aren't, and I've had to do some real minor little cheats to get them to work as a portable system. And one of those trade-offs was to do with what's called absolute referencing or file referencing. You see, Laragon is one of the ones that are, even though they do have a portable version, because of what we're using on this one, we've got the full version of Laragon, and that does require, like I say, this absolute referencing. And the problem we have with that is everyone has different systems, and therefore when you plug in your pen drive, it will come up as a different drive letter. Since this was originally made for my college, for the work I do with my college, I decided that the E drive would be the best letter to use, because in our college we have the C drive for the operating system and the files. The D drive is for the DVD drive that is connected to them, and that means that when you put in your pen drive, that automatically becomes the E drive. And therefore all of these absolute references that are required are to the E drive. Now, as I said, your machine at home, your laptop may be different. You might not have a DVD drive, or you might have several hard drives, and therefore your pen drive might be the letter D instead, or it might be F or whatever, okay? And this is what this error is. As we can see, it says it's where it's coming from the F drive, and it's looking for something in the E drive, and it can't find it. Now, like I said, this is a known issue, and if we actually go into our documents and look in the run error folder, we can have a look at I think it's the Apache error, okay, and we can actually see the same issue here. At this time it was on the Q drive, okay, but it's the same error that we get. So to fix this, what we actually have to do is to change the drive reference to the pen drive. So before we do that, what we actually need to do is to close it down. So cancel this update. I'm going to say OK to this. To close Laragon, you see this little square down here. You can't just close it from here. When you press stop here, it will stop the services running on Laragon, but it doesn't stop Laragon. People think clicking that will close Laragon, but it doesn't. You see it's still down here as a square. If you don't see the square, just click this up arrow and see if it's up here, and then you can always drag it down. And what you want to do is on that square, right click and go to exit. Now it's gone green because there's no services, and eventually it'll disappear. That means it's closed. And then with portable apps, I'm just going to press this X1 because I don't want to eject the drive, I just want to close the program off. Okay, so the way that we change this is by using the drive manager. Now I need to make this clear. You can only do this if you have admin rights on your machine. If you don't have admin rights on your machine, you might need to speak to somebody who does to allow them to do it. But what we do is that we right click on the start button, we go to disk management. It can sometimes take a while to start up properly. Okay, be very careful on here. Okay, I can't stress this enough. I made a mistake 2 days ago where when I thought I was working on this pen drive and I was actually deleting something, I did it to my backup drive and lost 1.5 terabytes of data. Luckily, I've got a backup program, a recovery program that got it all back. So what we do is that we find the pen drive that we want, which is this one here. We right click on it and we go to change drive letters and paths. We click on that, you see it's at F, we go to change, and you see assign foreign letter, and we drop it down to the E drive. Okay, say yes to that. We see it's been changed, it's now the E drive. So when we open up the Explorer, go to the E drive, start it up. Okay, that'll start up, we'll get the updater and we get Laragon coming up. Just close these off the background, don't need them. Let's move this out of the way. And you can see that Apache is now working no problem. So what happens if you don't have admin rights? Okay, well, what you have to do is actually go and manipulate the file yourself. And again, this is where it helps you, or at least I help you. So if we go back, look at the pen drive, go into Documents, Run Error, Apache. Now you see here there's a shortcut. Now that will actually work because I've actually now with the E drive. But if we right click it and go to Properties, we can see where it expects it to be. Okay, so obviously if yours is on the F drive like it was before, we can actually just follow this along. So we see that what we need to do, let's move this to the side. So what you can do is we go back up to Portable Apps folder, we go and find the Laragon folder. Okay, then we go into etc, Apache 2, and then it's sites enabled, and then it's this file here. Okay, and if we right click it and open it, it should open up in Notepad. You might need to go open with and select Notepad, and then what you would do is this file here, this little bit here, this virtual host stuff. Okay, it's this drive letter that you need to change. Now because mine is the E drive, I leave it. But if you can't change your drive like we said before, then you want to change this drive letter to match whatever your pen drive is. Okay, and that will allow the web server to run properly. Okay, there may also be another way that we can do this without that, but that's always the safest way to do it. Now, whilst we've got it open, the other thing we can do is actually go into here and actually change the document root. I say this might actually do it for you as well. Okay, so we're going to click on the three dots and we're going to go into libraries. No, we're not, I'm lying. We go back into Portable Apps, into Documents, Websites, Sites. Actually, no, we'll leave it as Sites here. That will make sense. So put it in Sites. Okay, we get the update there. Now, if you do have admin rights to your machine, you want to turn on virtual hosts. Okay. Now I do apologise, the screen's about to go blank because we've got down here there's user access permissions, and when I run this it blanks out the recording normally. So we go yes. Okay, so this virtual host is really cool when you're working at home and you've got admin rights. It won't work in school, colleges, libraries and places like that because you won't have the right rights. But what this does is makes it easy for us to test our websites in the browser, because now because we've got a learning folder and a project folder, those are the two sites we'll work with, you can now type in learning.test into your browser and that will take you to your learning website to view. So that's a really cool thing to have. Okay, but we'll just close that down. Okay, now you might get another error. Okay, and again, let's have a look at them here. So, Portable Apps, go into a document, run error, and the other one will be a MySQL error. Okay, and this is the error that we will see. And what it comes down to, you only get this if you've got a very new computer and you haven't installed many applications or many Windows Office applications. And the reason for that is that this is a DLL file, or direct link library file, and it's part of the C++ redistribution. Okay, this is a Microsoft, I don't know, it's Visual C distribution, and this library file comes in that, and it actually comes in the 2010 redistribution. Okay, and basically, like I said, this will happen to any machine that you put your pen drive in that hasn't had this update applied. Like I said, this should be a very, very, very small number of machines. So you can only solve this problem if you can install into that machine. Okay, and again, one thing I haven't said is that if you can't, this will really only affect you if you're dealing specifically with MySQL. So this is when we are dealing with databases in PHP or maybe in Node.js. So this is only a problem for that one. But if you can fix it, it's worth fixing. Now, to solve it, you can go and search the internet and find the right file to download. However, I've made your life easy for you, and it's just here. Okay, and I say, if you don't trust me, that's fine. Bit weird since you've just installed over 50,000 files on somebody you don't trust, but let's not worry about that. But if you double click on there, as you can see, Microsoft Visual C++ 2013 library redistribution. And then as you see on my one, it says repair or uninstall because I've already got it on my machine, so I don't get that error. Okay, so that's what you'll need to put in to fix it. And like I say, if you just Google that yourself, you will find it, download it, install it, and you'll find it's exactly the same as my one there. Okay, so those are the main errors you will get. You may find as well, without it being the E drive, some things with Visual Studio Code may not work properly. If you do run into those problems, please let me know, because I think I've got solutions to those, but I can't remember what they are. Okay, so now we've got that sorted, the next thing to do is to update Portable Apps, and it's really straightforward. You just follow it. Okay, now what will happen is that once the actual platform itself has been updated, you have to do that one first. Okay, normally this is a fairly quick update, and you can see it's working there straight away and it's installing it. Then normally after that you will find not only, and sometimes if you've got Laragon running, it will do it again because it's an auto start. And there you can see a whole host of programs are also in the updating. These will obviously take much longer. It doesn't seem to matter how often I update the one on my system. They tend to need to be updated the following day. So just okay it, let it get on. You can carry on doing things in the background if you want. It shouldn't affect them. Like I said, I've got two lots of Laragons. I need to right click and exit them. Okay. The other thing I should point out with Portable Apps is, where's it gone? Here it is. If you want to get into like your areas again, you can just click on the document or the others and it'll take you to the relevant sections. There are a whole host of additional programs that you can get. Okay, if you click on this app one here, again it does update, checks for you straight away, but you can go and get some more and search for them. To be honest, I've probably got more than enough programs that you need. I will be going through my programs as we get time for them. Okay, the other thing it has got as well is this backup, okay, which is quite handy, but I've also included always sync, which I think is awesome, and you know, I'll be covering that, how to back up as well. I'm just going to pause this recording until it's finished in the updating so I can show you how to safely eject your pen drive. Okay, so it's felt like it's been about 3 days for it to update. So your update's complete. Like I said before, almost all the programs you want to run are in this document pane. Okay, If you click on the All Portable Apps, it is down into different categories for you to find certain files faster, with the only real exception being that of Visual Studio Code, which if you go to Documents, go up to the root folder, which is the E drive, and you can click on the code button there to launch it, which I believe is the next video. So that brings us to the end of video number 2. Again, I appreciate this is a very simple video, but it's just to make sure that everyone's on the same page. As before, please like, subscribe, and comment below. I can't make these better unless you tell me what you need me to do. If there's a video you want me to make, again, put it in a comment. I can't promise I have time to reply to every message, but you know, it'll make me feel big all the same. So this is Zen signing out, and see you guys next time.